Hey everybody, Mauricio Raould here, founder and CEO of Premier Law Group, your premier syndication attorneys. And I wanted to do a quick follow-up video to the video I just posted, which was how do you 1031 into a syndication? That video was really well received. So if you haven't seen it, I encourage you to check the link below and take a look at that first. But a lot of people had a really great follow-up question, which is, great, Mauricio, you've told us how we can 1031 into a syndication. How do we 1031 out of a syndication? Is that something we can do? And of course, the answer is yes. Just need to ask a better question, which is how do we 1031 out of a syndication? There's basically three ways that I know of, and one of them is kind of cheating, so it's probably two or two and a half. But the simplest one, of course, is if you have your syndication and everybody in the syndication agrees that they want to continue with the next investment and participate in the second property, then you simply sell the property in the existing syndication. I'm sorry, you sell the existing property and the syndication LLC buys the new property, and we do basically a traditional 1031 exchange, no problem. The challenge, of course, is that that'll work if you've got 4 or 5, maybe 6 people in there and everybody agrees. But what happens if you've got a large amount of investors, 20, 30, 40 investors, and you're going to have 2 or 3 or maybe more that don't want to continue, that they're done, they're happy with their returns, they want to cash out? How do we deal with those? The way I've done it in the past, and again, very, very important to check with your CPA just to make sure that it's something that we can do from a tax perspective. Again, it's a 1031, so we don't want to blow any tax exemptions from the current investors and also on the 1031. So you want to talk to both your CPA and your 1031 intermediary, like we discussed in the prior video. But you essentially buy those investors out. So if you've got 20 people in a syndication and 3 of them don't want to move forward, well, figure a way to get those guys out of the syndication so that they're no longer members of the LLC. And essentially now the remaining, whatever, 17 people agree to move forward, and you do the same type of exchange. Again, your syndication LLC sells the property and it goes into the new one, just like we did in scenario 1. But you do have to buy out those investors in order for them to be not part of the deal. Now, that's easier said than done. You've obviously have to come up with the money, but assuming you can do that, that's the way to do it. And the last way to do it, which again, I said it was kind of cheating because it's not technically a 1031, but obviously now, or not obviously, but now we've got these new rules, this new law with the opportunity funds. And so that allows you to take your profits, not only from real estate, which is why it's a little bit cheating because it's not a 1031. 1031s only apply to real estate, but it can be real estate, it can be stocks, it can be bonds, it can be precious metals, basically any investment that you have a capital gain, you can then sell that property, and then within 6 months, if you invest that in an opportunity fund that's located in an opportunity zone, then you're going to have a deferral, just like the 1031 deferral. Now, this is not a opportunity zone video. We're going to do one of those here shortly, but that will allow you to defer the tax up to 10 years and get some other great benefits on the opportunity fund part, but at least you will not be paying the taxes, or you defer the taxes on the current sale, at least temporarily. Very similar to a 1031 exchange, except you are obviously, like I mentioned, limited to, you're going to defer it a maximum of 10 years. So hopefully that answers your question. And I really, really love the interaction and the feedback. So if you've got any questions about this video or any of the other videos, please put them in the comments and I will be happy to answer them. Thank you.